the walk now. That whole routine takes about an hour, and I'm pretty silent. I don't really speak the first hour of the day. I just try to stay off my phone and focus, get my stuff done, and get outside. I'm just going for my mile walk, which is 2,000 steps approximately, and then by the time I get back, the sauna will be ready. I wouldn't usually record this part, but I'm doing a quick minute, and then I'm gonna put my phone in the locker. This is what I do. I just sit down here and I just breathe. I focus so much on my breath that minutes go by so fast because I'm so present. All the thoughts just clear and there's nothingness. It's kind of hard to explain, but this is why I love the sauna so much, not just for physical detoxification like sweating, but that mental. Love it, grateful. All right, I'm gonna go put my phone in now and just do 21 minutes at 70 degrees. 21 minutes, feeling good, man. 75 degrees Celsius, which is around 160, 170 Fahrenheit. Whew.
Water.
Looks good. I was just walking and realized how colorful everything is. Last week, everything was no color, and now the sun's out and it's like really starting to blossom. Heading to the store now, pick up some stuff. Man, these are huge. Might have to pick one up. All right, so I couldn't even record that in the store, but if I was recording that, you would have seen I was just walking around with this big watermelon. This is huge and heavy. There's a yellow spot, and if the yellow is darker, that means it's sweeter. So I had to get that, man. And then I got some mangoes. I got like 7 mangoes. And the cashier, I think he was new to the store, because when it came up on the system, he charged me like $1.29 for 7 mangoes. So, hey, I didn't say a word. I just walked out and everybody was looking at me with that watermelon, man. And then when I was coming in the parking lot, she's still there, but this lady's in her car with the door open, just eating watermelon just like that. Like, what? That's so crazy. That's like a synchronicity. And then we just looked at each other and just nodded like, yeah. Going home now. Probably gonna cut this tomorrow, not today. And just finish up my steps. Yes, sir. Let's go. All right, so getting my midday teas. We got the liver detox tea. We got the brain and nerve adrenal support and the inner cellular cleanse. So I use this twice before I dispose it, and I don't throw it in the garbage either. I take the herbs, I put it in a container, and then once this container is full, I just basically go outside and give it back to nature, give it back to the ground, the dirt. So I'm just boiling this water now, put it on the max heat. Then I'm gonna take a tablespoon of each tea, put it in here, the second tea. Then I'm also gonna turn on my granddad's tea, which I reuse as well. Third one, tablespoon. Cover it for about a minute till it boils. I'm starting to get so much stuff. Man, I gotta get my own place sometime. Like, I'm in no rush, but because I love staying here. But once it is time for me to get my own place, it's gonna be super clean. And none of this will be in my house. See all that? Look at all that. And it's crazy because when things like that are in your face every day, it's so easy for you to fail, you know? It's like literally setting you up for failure. This is a common thing, you know, a lot of people have, like just snacks around their house. But when I get my own place, it's only gonna be fruits, veggies in the house, and none of this stuff, man. And the crazy part is just like whenever there's a so-called holiday, like let's say Easter or Christmas, they put even more sweets here. Or when the family's coming over, they put this all over the table. It'll be double this, you know? So we gotta stop doing that, man. We gotta stop doing that. I know we call it, oh, it's a tradition. It's like You know, it's Easter, you have to have the chocolate eggs. It's Easter, you have to have the candy. It's Christmas, you gotta have the Christmas cookies. But it's like, when we really think about it, we're destroying our health every holiday like that, you know? We gotta make sure we're keeping each other well. I love them so much, you know, but it's just habits like these that I don't want to be developing. That's why I gotta break it, man. I gotta break the generational curse. It's hot here, so you can see it's boiling. Take that off now. I'll let it boil more. And just turn it to 1. So this is on 1 now, and this is on 1 now. And just sit it here for about 15 minutes. But yeah, now it's time to get my tinctures. And I just took my lemon ginger shot. I didn't record that part, but basically the same thing I was doing in the rising when I wasn't speaking. And this notebook actually is to write everything down, track it. You see, every single day I have tincture, capsule, tea, and what time I took it. Then I got tincture, capsule, tea, tincture, capsule, tea. Every single day. 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's 3 dropperfuls. So 2 of these half squeezes are 1 dropperful. There's our tincture shot. And then we're gonna do 1 teaspoon of the powder, 1 teaspoon of the other powder. And then you could put up to half of this, so like 8 ounces of spring water, or you could do 8 ounces of fresh pressed juice. And I usually do the green juice if I do juice, but I'm not doing juice while I'm on this liver detox, because in case I do have fatty liver, I don't want all that juice going straight to my liver. That's going to be harder on my liver. I'm trying to heal my liver completely, so I'm trying to make it as easy as possible for my liver to get through the detox. So I'm not going to juice right now. This session should only be 3 more weeks, and then session 5, so I'll start juicing up again in a few weeks when I'm done. This is my tincture. This is my powders. The powders are pretty nasty, but I get used to it, you know. So I got the capsule I'm gonna take with my water and powder and whatever. Got the tincture here, and then we got the tea on the stove right here. So yeah. And there we go. This is what I take 3 times a day: the tea, the powder with the water, the tincture, and the capsule. So I take the tincture first, get it down. Then I take the capsule with the water and the powders. And then finally, once the tea is cooled down, it's extremely hot right now. Once it's cooled down, then I drink my tea. The water just brings me so much peace, man. Hey, I remember me and Michael sitting right here about 3 years ago. We were just sitting right here. It was peaceful vibes. He had his backpack on, I remember. And we would just walk down there. Man, good days. Alright, that was a day in the life of what I do throughout the day. I know it didn't seem like I did a lot, but right now I'm just on this full body detox, so I'm really just trying to minimize a lot of activity and just focus on my health right now. So a lot of this stuff I'm implementing throughout the day is related to my wellness and getting better. So sauna, walking 10K steps, even something small like reading, breath work every single day, yoga. I also just had my nighttime tea. I didn't show that part because I already showed my teas throughout the day, you know, in the rising and then midday. So every night I've been trying to go to sleep around the same time, at least laying down before 10:30, because your body goes through deep detoxification around 11. Between 11 and 3, you know, you get that deep detoxification. So trying to keep my circadian rhythm in check, which is your body's biological clock, and when it operates. I pretty much sit here before I go to sleep and just reflect on my day, reflect on my thoughts, and just express my gratitude internally for every single day, my health and everything. So one thing I've been doing more is quiet time before I go to sleep and really clearing my mind, because I feel like my dreams have felt so real, and a big part of how my dream plays out is my thoughts before I go to sleep. So if I ever stay on my phone and I'm so overstimulated, my dream will be so messy. But the more my mind is clear, the more I'll get answers through my dream, the more I'll get deeper meanings in my dreams. So I feel like it's very important to clear your mind before you go to sleep, not just for dreaming, but it's important to do so because of how you rise the next day. You're gonna rise in a much better mood. If your mind is in a peaceful, calm state before you go to sleep, you will rise with more clarity in your mental, more positivity, more happiness and calmness and gratitude. So that's just what I've noticed from my experience. I'm trying to get back to how I was before, just placing my phone across my room on airplane mode before I sleep, so that when I rise, I'll have to literally get out of bed to even check my phone. And I wouldn't even want to check my phone by getting out my bed, because by the time I get out my bed, it's just like, okay, time to start my day right away. No checking phone, you know. But if my phone's right beside me, I pretty much set myself up for failure, like I was talking about before. You know, you got to set yourself up for success. So I try to always think of my future self and what I want to implement as far as habits. And in order to develop good habits, you have to set yourself up for success. Those small things like putting your phone far away from you, small things like making your bed when you get up, is the first step to success. Small things like taking a deep breath, even if it's just for 1 minute a day with a 1-minute timer, you're setting yourself up for more success, more peace. So baby steps, but as you keep going and going and going, you're leveling up. The last thing I forgot to add in the video was my last snack. I have my last meal around 4 to 5 p.m. I say meal, but it's really just fruit, which I call it a meal because to me that's a meal, just a plate of fruit. So I usually have my main meal around 12 to 1 p.m. like I showed in the video, which is that big, you know, the main meal, which is when the sun is the highest in the sky, you know, at its peak. So that's when I have my large meal, and then around 4 to 5 p.m. is when I have my fruits. And then basically after the fruits, I stop eating at 6 p.m. so I can't eat past 6 p.m. until the next day at 12 again. So I do what's called an 18-6, which is fasting for 18 hours, and then you have a 6-hour eating period, which I've already discussed on this channel, I'm pretty sure, in one of my other videos. But yeah, that's what I've been doing for the past about 5 months, maybe 6 months. Sometimes I mess up and eat an hour or two earlier or finish eating an hour or two later, but overall I try to get that fasting in, because fasting is really key, especially on the healing journey. The body is a self-healing organism. It can heal itself if you give it the right conditions, and it will do so if you just give your digestive system a break. It will do what it has to do. Fasting is the key. Don't want to make the video too long, so I am going to end it here, but this was fun. I enjoyed doing day in my life. I always wanted to do one. I honestly just did it for me. I mean, I only have like 20 subs anyways, but I did just do it for me because I'd love to just look back on it in the future and be like, wow, that's how I used to do my daily routine and stuff like that. So yeah, I'll do another one. I'll do a part 2 day in my life, maybe in a couple months, and then another couple months, and I could see the difference on how my routine and how my days went and looked, you know. This is just some music I put on before I sleep to help my mind go in that calm state. I changed this music to subliminals or affirmations. Recently, I've been doing the Dr. Joe Dispenza. What if tonight as you lay in bed
instead of replaying the same old emotions, the same old stories, you made a decision to become someone new.
But yeah, this video, I've been doing it for the past 5 to 6 days, and I've noticed big changes. Like, I hear it throughout my sleep. It affects how my dreams play out, and then when I rise, I'm constantly hearing him say, you choose who you want to be every day. Stuff like focus on the present. A lot of people go to sleep in a miserable mood, and then they wake up wondering why they are still miserable because they didn't fix that before they went to sleep. So, very important to be in a calm, positive state before you sleep. Not just for your dreams, but for yourself the next day. Getting late. It was a great video. I had an amazing day, and I'm grateful. Let's go.